before I start this video, I just want to clarify, when standing regular, this is going to be your toe side edge of the board, and this is your heel side. Goofy is the same thing. This is your toe side, this is your heel side. And when I say flicking perpendicular to the board, I mean flicking like this. And if I ever say flick like this, just forget it. You want to flick exactly perpendicular. Alright, so for hard flips, I will be teaching you my favorite way to do them, which is the one between the legs, like this. I really don't like the look of the hard flip that looks like a burial, like this. I prefer them go up and vertical, so I'll be teaching you that way. Now, a lot of people say that hard flips is a combination of a frontside pop shove and a kick flip, but you really should not think of it like that. That'll throw you off. Now, hard flips are kind of frontside pop shoves with kick flips, but not really. They're just little bits of each trick, but it's also an entirely new trick of itself. So tricks you should know are your kick flips and frontside pop shoves, because they are kind of useful for this trick. In terms of consistency, for your kick flips, you should be able to land 4 kick flips in 10 tries. And for frontside pop shoves, you should be able to land like 1 pop shove in 10 tries. Now, the reason why I say 1 out of 10 for frontside pop shoves is because I'm actually more consistent with hard flips than frontside pop shoves. Now, one trick that can help are the frontside flips. I actually learned that before the hard flip, so the motions were pretty similar, but you don't have to go that route. So for flip placement, I like to have my front foot, solid on the board. This is where I'd usually put my foot for kick flips. And for my back foot, I like to have my foot like angled a little bit like this, and it will be in the middle of the tail, like right here. Now, that being said, this is just my personal preference. Some people may like to have their front foot like right here, 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 here. And some people may like to have their back foot like this, or like this, or like that. It's really whatever works best for you. So it's just something you want to experiment on. So when you start the trick, I like to have my shoulders square with the board. You should never be twisting your shoulders. They should be lining up with the board. And for me personally, I like to have my head face towards the nose. And I also like to turn my chest towards the nose as well. So it'll be like that. So for me, my personal way to do it is shoulders square with the board, head facing the nose, and chest facing the nose. And that's how I would start the hard flip. So it's kind of like this. Alright, so now when you actually start the trick, you're going to be pushing the board, and you're going to be flicking at the same exact time. So right now I'll go through the back foot part of the trick. So with your back foot, you really want to have the board go end over end, like that. And to accomplish this, what you want to do is you're going to pop the board down like a usual trick, and you're going to take your back foot and push the board towards the nose. So you get something like that. Or you could actually push the board a little bit away from the nose, and it'll still work fine. Like any angle towards the nose is fine. You can have it like this if you want. It will get the job done. Now see, I did not do a frontside pop shove. I actually pushed the board and made the board go end over end. So that being said, if I do my hard flips the way I normally do them, but I don't use my front foot at all, it would look like this. But one thing you want to do is you want to push the board so the board stays under you, because if you don't push the board and you only pop it, it would just do this. That's why you need to push, so you have the board to stay with you. Since you're going to be pushing pretty quickly, your back foot is going to be left, just hanging in the air. So you just want to take that back foot and get away from the board, so the board has room for it to go around. And once you're done pushing the board, tuck your back leg in, and once you're ready to land the trick, just extend your back leg. You know how for kick flips you kind of flick like this? Well, for hard flips, what we're going to do is you're actually going to flick more perpendicular to the board than normal. Like your hard flips will be flicked over here, as opposed to your kick flips, which will be flicked over here. So you just want to go like this with your flick. And remember to keep your same exact drag technique as a kick flip. Like for hard flips, remember to angle your foot, drag across the board, make sure you stay in contact with the board throughout the whole entire drag. It is exactly the same thing as a kick flip, except you are going in this direction instead of going this direction. So when you flick out, just like kick flips, you're going to tuck your front leg into your body. And so now what's happening is your back foot is going to be right here, and your board is going to be rotating between your feet. And when you're ready to land, just bring your feet back in, and then try to extend your legs. And yeah, when the board is flipping between your legs, there is a chance of getting a cheap vasectomy. So to try to prevent that, if you are tall like me, what you can do is if you don't feel like the board is spinning how you want it to, just stand up and the board should be able to, go between the legs. And if you're not really gifted with height, there's two things I guess you could try to do. One will be maybe landing on one foot and away from the board. Or two, when you flip the board, you don't really like how it's going, just kick it so it goes away from you and everything should be fine over here. Now what's really good about the vertical hard flip, like when you do your vertical end over end thing and you flick out, you only have to do like half a flip. So it should be a little bit easier to get the flick. And the good thing about the vertical hard flip is that most of the time, you either get full rotation or you don't. There really will never be any in between. So for a quick recap, what you want to do is have your shoulders parallel with the board, you want them square, and have your head face the nose of the board. And if you want, have your chest face the nose of the board too. And at the same exact time, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be pushing the board forward and you're going to be flicking at the same exact time. Now remember, do not just pop your board because then it'll just go like this and you'll land right here. You want to pop it and push it since you're going to be pushing pretty quickly. Your back foot is going to be left, just hanging in the air. So you just want to take that back foot and get away from the board so the board has room for it to go around. Your front foot is going to flick the board exactly like a kickflip, except you're going to go more perpendicular than normal. So you'll go like this. And now that your front foot's out of the way, your back foot's out of the way, you're going to be tucking your legs in a bit so the board has some room for it to do its thing. And when it's done rotating, have your feet come back in and then extend. So yeah, that's pretty much the hard flip. And I feel like this tip might have went a lot faster than my others. I'm trying to think if there's anything I haven't really went over in depth. And the point of these trick tips is pretty much to answer every possible question you'll have. I don't want you to leave the video being really confused. But if you have a question or a problem that I really haven't went over, don't be afraid to ask me because there's bound to be like hundreds of people who have the same problem. And if I feel like I did miss a few things, I will make a common problems hard flip video. And I will definitely take all the comments in this video into account. And for now, just go out and practice them.